Time is not on our side. Let me pick your thoughts. For those of us who don't understand, what exactly is debt restructuring in a few words, and why has it received such a pushback from the labor unions, from, all of them? What exactly is the issue?
Okay, so debt restructuring, debt operation, debt swap, debt exchange, and all debt treatment. So essentially saying that government has been borrowing, and government has borrowed to the point where its balance sheet could no longer sustain that debt.
Okay.
So what government is asking is that, you know what, I have borrowed to the point where I cannot sustain it. It's suffocating us. I want to restructure it. I want to tamper with the terms of the existing debt in a way that makes it a bit comfortable for me to be able to pay and also do other important things, developmental things, build roads, pay salaries, and so many other things. So that will mean that the current terms of the debt would have to be tampered with. And it could take various forms. What government has announced right now is a debt exchange. In other words, they are going to issue a new debt in exchange for the old debt. A new debt with different features.
It is still debt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still debt. As for borrowing, we will continue to borrow for the foreseeable future. We can't do without borrowing. Look, but
Yes, sir.
borrowing itself is not a sin. It's not wrong.
It's not?
It's not. In fact, the whole financial sector, banking sector, thrives on borrowing. Okay, but what we have seen in that part of the world is that we borrow, but we are not efficient in how we invest those borrowed funds. Because typically, if we want to construct roads, we may not be able to generate the tax revenue before we'll be able to do the road. So we can borrow to do that. There are so many other things. In fact, firms do that. In fact, there's conventional wisdom in taking somebody's money, invest it in your business, make profit, go and pay the interest and the principal and pocket the rest. It's done all over the world. It's done. Our problem is that when we have taken the loan, we don't invest them in enhancing the cash flow generation capacity of the economy.
But, Prof, experts in finance abound. Experts in investment abound. People like you are all over the place. Didn't we see this coming?
Oh, we saw this coming long ago.
And what did we do?
The warnings were there. In fact, that is a bit that also surprises some of us. Why it took us so long to make the call to the IMF. From the second half of last year, it was very clear that Ghana was heading dangerously. In the third quarter of last year, the Ministry of Finance was actually in the market trying to borrow again. And the market rejected them because the fundamentals were deteriorating. We were hoping that the 2022 budget that was presented in November last year would have made a stronger fiscal adjustment and a statement and possibly a call to the IMF. When government failed to do that, and we said that, okay, we will muddle through. That was government's approach, essentially. We will muddle through. In other words, if we survive, fine, whatever. And that was risky. Okay, and that is why probably, I don't know how to put it, but it was very clear that the way we're going, we probably head to the IMF in an ambulance. Because the data was very clear. You could predict, look, modeling is not complicated, so to speak. In 2014, hello?
Yes, I'm
in
here.
2014, if you remember, our current vice president, when he was in opposition, using similar models, could predict that the government would check in at the IMF before the year 2014 would end.
So why didn't they do it this time?
That's the issue. That's the issue. Let me put it this way, forgive me.
Yes.
It got to a point, we got the impression that we were managing this economy as though we didn't have to take any effort from us to change what was happening, and that some imaginary economy miracle will happen somewhere and just replace the current economy. It doesn't happen that way. It takes effort, hard work, sacrifice, and that is why that delay is what has caused this. Okay, and this is not to sound like a prophet of doom or something. You know something? Where we are right now, to come out of this, it will take certain painful adjustments. And the level of adjustment we are willing to tolerate would also influence how soon we get out of this. Based on our estimation, we are looking at the next 10 years.
Next what?
The next 10 years.
That's gloomy.
It's not to make anybody sad or something, but a lot depends on what we do now. And what makes that a bit sad is that government is not demonstrating that we are living on the edge and we need to do something. Look, of course, there are some things you do, not that it will dry the sea, but for signal purposes, you need to press those buttons. And that is why stakeholders are pushing back, because the government is not doing its part of the burden sharing.
You mean the optics are not good?
Pardon?
You mean the optics are not good?
No, they are not. There is a lot that we have to do. And I'm saying this also within the context of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about one big market today. So if you look at what other countries are doing,
yes,
and you look at what Ghana is doing and what we are going through, it undermines private sector competitiveness as we go deeper into the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade. I'll give you an example. All these fiscal adjustments, fiscal consolidation, debt creation, the end game is that something will have to give. What will give will be growth. And that is why government itself in the 2023 budget is forecasting a lower growth than 2022. We are hoping to grow 2023 by 2.8%. It's the lowest in West Africa by forecast. It's the lowest. In fact, it's below the average. Okay, whilst Cote d'Ivoire and others are doing 6.5, and the rest, Ghana is going to do 2.8%.